Hey YouTube, happy Sunday. I should say good evening, saints. I guess this is sort of churchy. Listen, I need my etiquette police to chime in here in the comments. Is it too soon to talk about the begging? I don't know. I made a video yesterday. I said, no. We don't want to be raining on other people's parade. There may be a few more $1,000 they can collect. Let's let them have a good time and enjoy their trip, and we'll comment afterwards. So, of course, we're talking about the event that took place in San Antonio, Texas. Oh, you in other people's business. No, I'm not. Well, there's something like 10, 12 videos made about this event. This was a public event. In fact, I'll venture to say there seemed to be more time spent online than there was in each other's company. Appeared to be. So I went back and forth with it, and I'm not really trying to make any new enemies. So it's difficult when you involve other people in your life, and then the other people involved, I don't have problems with them. I don't want to create problems with them or feel like I'm disrespecting their little vacation or their little trip or whatever. But I basically saw this as a money grab. So since everything else is discussed and everyone else's living conditions is discussed and everyone else's finances are discussed and everyone else's ability to have children is discussed and everything is discussed. So I want to discuss this event. I want to say first, one of the things, and of course now I'm looking into these hours and hours and hours long videos. But I looked in enough to form an opinion, right? First of all, I'm glad they seem to have a nice time, but there's a saying in the street when people say you're putting too much on it. This might be about 10 years ago they were saying that. Putting too much on it, or what's it called, it 10 on 20 or some shit like that. I think I stopped counting at somewhere around 150 times when we were constantly reminded we're having a good time, we're having a good time, we're having a good time. Smiles, smiles, smiles. Like on the damn Love Boat. Smiles, everyone. Smiles. A little bit exhausting. We can accept that you're having a good time, people. You don't have to keep telling us that you're having a good time. Seems like Mr. Wilson, he still wanted to go down dark alleyways. I don't know why Mr. Wilson feels like he has to brag so much. I really don't understand that. I will say that I think that is a beautiful house. I hadn't really seen that much of it. But it seems like a beautiful house. So why are you bragging about it? What is the point in continually going into talking about Tracy's? He had to get this all in. Tracy's, there's power lines in her neighborhood. Oh, we ain't got no power lines over here. That's just some things that you don't do. So what if someone doesn't have as much money as you, or their house is not as nice as yours? You're a grown man. She's a single woman. What, you're comparing? Anyway, he seems to want to keep going down those avenues, right? Or he still wants to put everyone down, and he had to be constantly pumped up. Like I said, he's so much like Trump. All those people there had to. You remember when Trump gave this ridiculous press conference of his, and he had the whole damn everybody that works in the White House sit around and take turns giving him compliments, right? I was so put in mind of this. Every time the camera was on, someone had to be complimenting Jay Wilson. And tell him how wonderful he is, and what a great host he is, and how he paid for everything, and how wonderful his house is, and how, just over and over and over and over and over again. Why do you need so much validation? Just live in your truth. If that is your truth, live in it. Be a classy person. Don't be, anyway, that reminds me a lot of Trump, and I've expressed to you guys many times how much that his personality resembles a Trumpian type person. It would not surprise me if behind closed doors, Jay Wilson goes behind that curtain and votes for Trump, because his personality emulates his. All right, so the point was everyone had to go around the whole time that they were there kissing Jay Wilson's ass. How wonderful his house was. How many people who have nice homes, do they have to, you have to go around constantly telling them how wonderful the house is? We can accept it. You were a person, you were dean of the school, you had a good job, you bought a house. There's nothing wrong with that. You bought a house. So you lost a job and you struggle to keep your house. Okay? It's not a bad thing, but you make it a bad thing with all of these cheap ways to I don't know. I just think it's so Trumpian. It's so just like Donald Trump. Every time he has a cabinet meeting, everyone has to go around and say, "Oh, Mr. Trump, you're so wonderful. Oh, Mr. Trump, look at that head of hair. Oh, it's so beautiful." Anyway, that's how insecure that man is. I'm not going to sit up here and make this a hate fest. I know people are just chomping at the bit, be criticizing me for criticizing their event. Although I don't feel like I'm criticizing an event because they made it so public. It's all for show. So the most offensive part, well, one thing I don't know if this is messy or not, but Jay Wilson, why did you go to that karaoke bar, and let that man, what song did he sing? Was it Jeffrey Osborne? They had some dude up there. That motherfucker could sing. That was one beautiful rendition of that song because I thought it was the actual record. It was a man singing, right? I don't know what possessed you to feel like you can go up behind someone like that with a voice like that. Okay, I'm just leave it at that. That was a bad move. You don't need to be doing a comparison like that. And it's like you're going up, behind Prince or somebody. Anyway, so you did your event at the karaoke thing. I think 5A has a good voice, but yours is how I feel about that. But that was not a good move. All right, what else did I see in this thing? The main thing, the most offensive thing, the only thing that really motivates me to even talk about this thing is, my God, you guys, I've never seen such shameless begging. I mean, okay, part of the bragging was always talking about how Jay Wilson picked up the tab for everything. Oh, he paid for this. Oh, he paid for dinner. Oh, Jay Wilson paid for this. From what I see, just roughly speaking, it looks like you put about $500 in and took something like $10,000 out. I'm just keeping it real. You guys want to review everything. You want to put your whole life on the line. You got to deal with it. It looked like you put $500, $600, including the Jive's airfare. Maybe you spent $700, $800 for the whole trip, because most of it was. They were staying in your house. There was no hotel expense. You put $500, $600 into this thing. You pulled out $10,000. While I was watching, I saw you both raise over $1,000. Jives and Wilson at one time. Now, I don't know why you guys feel like the name of God is to be used to praise and worship money. Every time someone gave money, you broke into a dance and song and holding your heart and calling on the name of Jesus the Christ. About money, about donations, getting those numbers up, up, up. That was disgusting. Listen, save your worship for God. All right? Stop playing with God. That is going to stop playing with God. We don't know what is in the hereafter, but we can all see God's a jealous God. He have no other gods before him, especially not money, which the Bible declares is the root of all evil. The greedy people will always turn that around to say lack of money is the root of all evil. No, it is the grabbing. I think the original interpretation was correct. You people shouldn't be acting a damn fool over money like that. Now, it's not the subscribers' fault. They see you out there, they want to help contribute to the dinner, or they want to help contribute to this, whatever, the expenses. Wilson kept saying, oh, you offsetting the expense. You offsetting. Well, I would think just a couple of those donations should have covered the expense. Because you certainly didn't spend more than $600, $700. And the collections were in the thousands. Then you keep telling how you're going to give this one auditorium, you're going to give that, all that. You're going to give everybody all this money. Well, you ain't telling these people that you're not going to give them shit. These people are going to give them all this money. Yeah, that was pretty. I mean, it's pretty arrogant. I think. So all this shameless begging. Wasn't it supposed to be a meet and greet or a vacation somewhere in between that? A meet and greet and a vacation? Who goes on a vacation and begs for money the whole damn trip? Who goes and says they're going out to dinner, so therefore they need $3,000 for that? Wasn't there several $1,000s raised for this thing ahead of time? In the beginning? What are you offsetting? The cost of gas? People, you guys know how I feel about begging. It just makes me nuts. And to see these people, I mean, doing praise dances over every dollar to come in to encourage people to give more. That's one thing I don't never liked about the church. You take advantage of poor. Sometimes I'll be looking at those big mega churches. I look at those audiences and I see people in there with missing teeth and so forth. Basically, cheap clothes. I mean, sometimes you see put the pretty people in front, but some of those churches, I ain't talking about big, huge mega churches like Jace. I'm just talking about just big churches. You look in those audience and you say, look, these are poor people. They don't show the audience that much. They want to show you on the stage, right? When you look in the audience at the people who they're pulling this money from, these are poor people. You can tell it. You can tell it with the polyester and the bad wigs. Just grab more and more and more and more and more. It's like these people don't already give to their own churches because, they're busy too. Anyway, so they said the goal was to raise, Jives wants a new computer. So he had his own fundraising thing going. Then here comes Jay Wilson to say, oh no, tell him you're not going to leave here without that computer. You need $3,500. $3,500 for what? What are people getting for all this money they're supposed to be sending you, Jay Wilson? What is it about you that feels like people are supposed to give you their money? I don't understand that. Sure enough, people were calling in, giving them coins. And I'm not purely a hater. I'm not saying that if you want to donate to whatever the fuck you wanted to donate to. But I think you should just not pretend to be raising this for some purposes of God. What is God? Why are you calling Jesus every time somebody gives you $100? Holding your heart, dancing out your clothes. For money? What is that? You guys feel about it however you want to feel about it, What else to say about this event? It seemed like they were having a decent time. There was nobody there. They tried to do the camera. All right, so I counted 10 people. That's what I counted. Now, I know this is not supposed to be some big, spectacular things. And you can have 10 people to get together. Hell, I couldn't even get 10 people in this apartment. So that's a nice meet and greet. I mean, whatever. But don't present it as like there's these tons and tons of people there where you don't even show the audience. You never pan the audience. You just go from whatever's right in the camera. So to just say the 3 or 4 of you got together, that's fine. Just don't put so much on it. Yeah. Just don't put so much on it like it's a big event. Now, when Jives was talking, and I'm trying my best not to offend anyone here. I don't mind offending Jay Wilson because he doesn't mind offending me and a host of other people. That's kind of what he does. So I'm trying not to offend other people. I don't need any new enemies. Some of your subscribers are bad enough. The shit I have to listen to. But to be in your living room, Jive's doing his spiel, there with 10 people and an armed guard. What the fuck? You have an armed guard. Are you so afraid of Tracy and Wally? Lord have mercy. I saw that boy over there strapped with his gun. Jay Wilson, I have never in my life heard of somebody in their own house, their own home, apartment, whatever they are. Imagine you having Thanksgiving dinner. You sit there, you got an armed guard standing over the table. The fuck was that? Is that what you need all this money for? For ridiculous, frivolous expenditures? Are you that afraid of Tracy coming in there and turning over the tables? That didn't make no sense at all, child. It wasn't coming down there. Everybody's spending no money. Nobody's spending no money or time coming there to interrupt 10 people having dinner or karaoke or whatever. Okay, that's my 2 cents on this thing. I'm trying to think about if there's anything else I need to say about this. I did try to wait until I hope that I did wait until all these festivities are over. But you guys need to really check yourself about this begging. If you could see it, play it back and just take yourself out of yourself and just look and see what you're seeing. $100. Oh, glory to Jesus. What the fuck? You're supposed to be Christian people who love the Lord. Maybe this is the way some of them bootleg preachers feel on the inside, but you ain't got enough sense to keep it on the inside. Even they have enough sense to realize that you shouldn't be worshiping, going crazy over money like that. And then getting more and more from you don't know what these people. Some of these people, you always talking about who's homeless. Jay Wilson spends hours and hours talking about who's homeless, who don't have no job, who's on SSI, all of these things, who got power lines in their neighborhood, and all this stuff. And yet these are the very same people that you're begging to send you all this goddamn money. And they're the only ones sending you money. As far as you know, these people are sitting in their extended stay hotel rooms, sending your ass hundreds of dollars, so you can buy security guards, armed security guards to have a damn dinner. All right, people. Oh, I hope the rest of you had a good time there. I hope I'm not starting on new beefs. God, I am exhausted with all that. But I don't believe that you should be treating people the shabby way you treat them, and then no one is give you the same treatment. You make your event public. You spend hours of this time online. I don't know how much time you had to be together. It seemed to me that you're always online. Somebody was always live. So this is a money grab. And I'm just concerned about the kind of people you're grabbing your money from. Are they the same ones that you're making fun of?